Computers come in all shapes and sizes and in a number of different categories. You've got desktops, mini PCs, laptops, and gaming is one of those categories that encompasses all manner of verticals in terms of computing. You've got gaming PCs, you've got gaming mini PCs, and you've got gaming laptops. And I have the mother of all gaming laptops here in the Lenovo Lenovo in the Lenovo Legion 9i, and I'm starting to realize why gaming laptop videos don't start off like this. It's the benefit of the doubt. Hello and welcome to another benefit of the Doud review. I'm so happy to be joined by my co-host Cliff. How are you doing, Clifford? Cliff Dunn. You're not Clifford. What am I talking about? I don't know where that came from.
That's okay. I've been called that about 1,000 times. Just never by you. So there's a new one, I think. Maybe.
Well, that's I don't know. First time for everything.
I'm good. I'm a little cold. I haven't been in this office in a few days, and I never reset up my wireless network once I changed some things around to have it so that I can turn on the heater before I come back out here. So I was in here for about 10 minutes going.
Yeah. So cool. Well, that sounds like you're really, really cold out in that office. But you know what's all the hotness?
Oh, tell me, Adam.
Is this gaming laptop that was sent to me by our old friends at Lenovo. I'm going to try to heft this up, but oh my God, it's like just so crazy. And you'll notice that we are not utilizing Skippy because as I told Cliff, where am I going to put Skippy that you can see the whole thing? I would have to like drill a hole through my ceiling and like put it in my bedroom upstairs or something. Just to take in this fire.
We'll get you a mechanical lift to hold it up for like used for like a car.
Just right off the bat, it's as big as my head. Like this laptop is as big as my head. Laptops are not supposed to be as big as it's bigger than my head. Look, see, I come back here. Where am I? Here I am. So, and now you can like see everything that's on my computer screen. Yeah. So I don't think there's any embargoed information, but it should be fine.
Look at that RGB.
Yeah. The hotness of the keyboard.
But it's got
one thing that I wanted to show you,
lip on the bottom too. Ooh.
It does. It's got like a little Knight Rider thing going on there. But I showed this off on Instagram, but I don't know that it really came through. But if you look at the O key and you look at the power button up at the top, it's like that same
logo. It's the Legion logo.
I love that. It's just a nice little touch.
Yeah, that's a nice little touch.
That means you have designers that care. And I like, oh my God, like I've just holding the laptop like this, I can feel the air gushing out of the bottom, like just to keep this thing.
Definitely feels like a laptop where a laptop stand would be beneficial if you have one.
And we're on the lock screen, people. Like this thing is already working overtime. Which reminds me, we should probably get on with the review before the battery dies because this is a gaming laptop.
Laptop, exactly. Yeah.
So I've had this laptop for about I want to say about 3 weeks at this point, but I only used it for the first one because I've been busy. I've been running through reviews. I've done some Chromebook stuff, which I'll be talking about in a future video, which is a lot of fun. And so, but I use this as like my primary laptop. I want to say it was about like a week and a half or so. This thing basically took up my entire dining room table. And so like I had to slot it in between like kids parties and holidays and stuff like that because it took me a while to get this thing unboxed and set up. And another thing that we should talk about, we should do like a video on it, is just like the whole reviewing laptop like workflow, because I've got a workflow where I can You can hand me a brand new laptop out of the box and I can be set up and ready to go within like half an hour as long as I have a
Right.
decent internet connection. So we should maybe do a show on that sometime. But
I mean, Windows
maybe
to some extent, if you actually do backups and with OneDrive, and I mean, it'll bring a lot of your stuff over. It's connected, not quite as much as like an iPhone or something like that, but
right, right. It's
it
but
does.
I've gotten it pretty close.
Yeah,
I've gotten it pretty close to a phone like experience. In fact, I would argue maybe my laptop experience is a little bit easier than setting up a new phone. But anyway, why don't we go ahead and get some stuff out of the way? So this is a Lenovo Legion 9i. This has an Intel Core Ultra 9 275 HX processor. Beating the beating heart of the thing. It also has a discrete NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5080. Um,
ooh,
um, what's the thing? GPU. That's the word I'm looking for.
ooh,
This is why Cliff is on the show, by the way, because he's the guy.
yeah.
Um, but anyway, it has a massive 18-inch display, and this is the first laptop I've ever used with an 18-inch display. And my God, like it is just it's funny because like it seems like really palatial, like you really have a lot of room to
Right,
work with, and yet like doing side by side windows didn't really work until I cranked down the zoom on it
right.
like 150% or something like that, or maybe even lower. I don't remember, but because my workflow is very side by side window thing, like I can do just like a single window, but um,
And
yeah,
looks like a 4K display too.
it is. Let's see.
And I have noticed
Pop this
with
puppy open again.
it all depends on the manufacturer, but yeah, when if they tune it because it's a 4K display, because I have owned a laptop with a 4K display before. Granted, it was only 15.6 inches, but sometimes yeah, they'll turn up I think it's in the like whatever it is that makes the icons bigger and all. Sometimes it is a little bit too large, and then you can
Yeah.
easily make it just ridiculously tiny too. That looks very
Right.
workable what you have right now. So out of the box,
Yeah.
it was a little too zoomed in.
Yeah. It was a little too zoomed in. I
Mm.
couldn't quite do the side by side. The side by side windows on it. I need to keep closing it and reopen it because like I cannot hold it up for
Yeah,
that long. So let's just go ahead and get that gorilla out of the room. 7.72 pounds as
yeah.
reviewed. So it's 3.5 kilograms for those overseas. The battery is zero point 0.1 watt hour, small enough to take onto a plane. So
Wow.
it's a 99.9 watt hour battery.
That's
It
not intentional at
charges.
all.
It actually charges really fast.
Yeah, yeah.
They have 80 minutes in their specs, and I'm gonna say that's probably pretty close.
It's got
Um,
a 280-watt charging brick, so I'd imagine it would
oh, do you wanna see the charging brick?
I imagine it's a hoss.
Do you wanna see the charging
I
brick?
mean,
Um,
honestly, I mean, while that is huge, I've seen charging bricks that are about the
iPad
same
Mini
size.
for comparison. Like my
Yeah,
God, and
yeah. They've
and
got
by the
so much
way,
more compact for how much wattage they put out, though. Like that. Yeah,
um,
you could murder somebody with that. Not that you should, but you
you
could.
remember that thick phone I put on Instagram a while ago? This
Yes.
guy? Okay. So like
Oh
so
my.
yeah, this charging brick is a little big. Um anyway,
That's a thick with 2 C's, that's what that
it,
is.
that is definitely a
You can
solid
maybe
thick
say
with two
about the
C's.
laptop too. And it was funny because when you told me that you were getting this in for review, and I didn't realize it was an 18-inch laptop, and so I went and looked it up. I'm like, "Oh," because this is before you had unboxed it. I thought, "Oh." In fact, I think I even said something to you to the effect. I was like, "Oh, that's gonna require, you're gonna be stronger after you
Yeah.
after you review it than before. You're gonna
If
look
I
at your."
remember correctly, you asked me how much I would, or you asked me if someone offered you like $100 to take this on like like a trade show with you. Would you do it? And I believe my response was no, 1,000 at least.
It's like,
because because I figured I would need that for the physical therapy after the
well,
trade
right.
show was over.
And I mean, there are many laptop bags that support an 18-inch laptop either. I mean, a 16-inch laptop is always like kind of the pushing it. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
it's definitely
Yeah.
it's definitely the old term was desktop replacement. I would definitely say that's in the same category.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And speaking of replacing your desktop, let's just kind of walk around the periphery here. So we have a USB-A port here. Can you see if
Yep.
I angle it
Yep.
just right? Yeah. Okay. So USB-A port. Oh, there.
Ethernet
There
right
we
where
go.
your finger
And
is.
then that's the no. This is
Yep.
the RJ45. RJ45. Is that the right
Yeah,
term?
Ethernet.
I think. Yeah.
Mhm.
For the Ethernet. Two USB-C ports there, and then we have a headphone jack there. On the back, that's the power adapter.
Mhm.
That is the HDMI port.
Mhm.
And then over on this side, we have another USB-A, another USB-A, a full-size SD card
SD
reader,
card.
another
Yeah.
USB-C port, and then I believe this is the switch for the webcam.
Yep.
So a shutter key for the
Shutter
webcam.
key. Yeah. Yeah.
And then like you pointed out, we have RGB basically around the front and going towards the back a little bit. We have RGB on the keyboard. And then let's talk ventilation because we have massive amounts of
Yes.
ventilation on the bottom, also on the back.
Yeah.
I mean, like you kind of saw this as I was waving it back and forth. So like this thing, and the nice thing is it doesn't get too noisy when the fans are going. I Cliff and I were talking before the show. I don't do a lot of gaming, and by a lot I mean any. So
PC gaming
um,
anyway.
yeah, really the main way that I was able to test this out was I did some videos on this. I edited
Mhm.
some videos with like DaVinci Resolve, and I therefore had to export them. And this was able to handle that workload with absolutely no
Yeah.
problem as long as it was plugged in.
And
Um,
I think we mentioned
yeah,
it in the specs, but what's definitely gonna help that, it's got 16 gigabytes of dedicated video memory,
right, right,
which
and
is
it has
very impressive for
30.
a laptop.
Now I think it has. I don't remember. I think it has 64 gigabytes
Oh, RAM?
of normal RAM because I'm looking at the spec sheet. I could MS Info 32 it, but the spec sheet says 2 times 32, so I'm guessing it was 64. That sounds right.
That does sound right.
In
Yeah.
fact, if I pulled up the email, I could probably look at that. But anyway, so yeah, there's plenty of power.
Oh, yeah.
There's plenty of RAM. There's plenty 2 terabyte SSD in here, which for me is not all that important because I do everything in the cloud anyway.
Right.
But yeah.
S
Now, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, so actually the model that they shipped you is it sounds like their top spec model, because I think it starts
Right.
out with, like, a 1 terabyte SSD and 32 gigabytes of RAM. But, I mean, other than
Yeah.
that, just looking at the differences, I mean, I think it's all the same processor, all the same, um
Hmm.
like, the base specs are all pretty much the same. They just loaded yours up with RAM and I don't know if you've got an up spec display or something, but a 4K display across the board too. So anyway, I mean,
Right.
and with 500 nits of max brightness, which is really good for a laptop,
It
and
really is.
especially for a gaming laptop. But yeah,
And especially since the laptop I've been using for the last few days tops out at 250 nits.
yeah,
500
mm,
nits is a
yeah,
little bit of a luxury. Also, the other thing I like about this is the lid
yeah.
has this like there's a name forged carbon
I was gonna say it looks like
is
forged
is the
carbon
name.
fiber. Yeah,
Yeah. So it's got that really cool pattern to it, which is really nice. And the Legion logo on the top, and I think that's really the only branding aside from the aside from the buttons that I showed you
Mhm.
on the keyboard.
And I'm sure you've reviewed a few laptops now, and it seems like every manufacturer kind of has their own aesthetic, right? Like when it comes,
Hmm.
especially to gaming laptops, and I kind of find that Lenovo kind of with the Legion series kind of hits that like happy middle ground. Like if you go,
Yeah.
there's Razer's gaming laptops that are very stealthy, almost
Hmm.
minimalist. And then there's Alienware and some of the like the MSI laptops that go kind of above and beyond with all the RGB and crazy shapes. And Lenovo's
Right.
are, I mean, give you some some bright work and that cool, like in this case the forged carbon fiber lid, but it's not something I'd be embarrassed to use especially if I turned off the RGB on the lip there on the
Oh,
bottom.
definitely, definitely.
I wouldn't mind using it at a coffee shop or something. I wouldn't feel
Yeah.
like Mr. Beast or something or a
Yeah. No.
PewDiePie.
The problem with using this as a coffee shop though
Well,
is
yeah,
off of battery, it lasts about 2 hours.
yeah,
Like I want to say 2.5 hours. I posted a thread about it um a few weeks ago when I was actively using this. It did not make it to lunch. I remember that.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, yeah, this thing sucks down battery. And that's just doing like my job. Like
right.
that's just doing like, a bunch of edge tabs and Slack and Telegram and not a real hardcore workflow that I
No,
have.
I mean, that's definitely a LAN party machine. That's what you would take instead of what people used to have, which was like the small chassis with the handle on it. Because I mean,
Yeah,
actually got an Ethernet port, which outside of business machines is not that common these days. And I mean, it ought
right.
to for how much space you've got on there. But
Really. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, it's just you know what? It's so like it's more power than I ever need.
right,
Like there's no question about that. But it's got a good mix of like power and performance, I think. As long as, and that's the big criticism for all gaming laptops is as long as you're not too far from an outlet, you can,
right.
you can use it. And also, as long as you're not crawling around a trade show floor with this mother. My God, I can't even because like not only that, I have to carry this thing around with
Right.
me
Mhm.
too and I would need to like find active power. Like CES is fine because they have media rooms everywhere. But my God, like
I
just
mean,
going to like a, yeah,
I would say, if you were one of those teams that used to go to CES, like the Verge used to have, where they had like a dedicated, like trailer that was offsite, you'd be the person that's in the
right.
trailer editing the video with that. It's not. I mean, I don't want. When we sound like we're criticizing it. We're not because that's not really
No,
what it's meant
absolutely.
for. It's not a Road Warriors laptop. It's like I said for LAN parties. It's basically a desktop replacement. So you can
Yeah.
take it with somewhere if you need to, but I doubt you're probably gonna want to that much, and that's okay because I mean, it's
Yeah.
basically desktop quality graphics, for the most part in a
Right.
that size of chassis, and then the 18-inch I mean, like you said, you call it a luxury. It is. 18 inches as a screen is
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you know what you're getting into with that, and of
Like
course,
Call
you
of
got
Duty on this thing. Oh my God, that would be
right.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like it's not a TV, sure, but yeah, this is 100% like you said, a LAN party rig, or even like I would say even like a gamer's rig. I would say like
Yeah.
if you're a gamer who not travels, but who roams.
Right.
Like you go to your buddy's house and you play a game over there. Or you go, to a different place and you play a game over there. That's kind of what this is for. Or if you just have an aging desktop
Mhm.
and you want to replace it with something that you can pick up and take with you, like they say the best camera is the one that you have with you. the
Well,
the best
right.
gaming laptop is the one that you can pick up and and take with you. I
Yeah.
don't think that's a one-to-one analogy, but still, it's the thought that counts. I really think.
So one thing I was looking at with just in the quoted specs with it, but that
Yeah,
display, not only is it 4K and it's a max it's actually 520 nits, but it's also got a 240 hertz refresh rate.
refresh rate. Yeah,
And it's IPS, like all the stuff you'd expect in a high-end laptop screen. But you know, some laptops at that price, you can actually get an OLED screen, but definitely disadvantages to that, like burning and things like that. Just seems like a
Sure.
really nice display, definitely great for gaming. And well,
Yeah.
and then potentially 4K, you definitely need all of that, those 64 gigabytes of RAM or the 32 base plus the 16 gigabytes of dedicated video memory just to make sure it's not lugging down. But yeah, it's a beast of a machine. I would,
Yeah.
for the right person. I mean, it's you know,
I mean,
uh,
honestly,
replacing a desktop potentially.
the only thing that I could say it's like missing,
Mhm.
and I'm using the term missing very loosely, is there is no fingerprint sensor. It does have Windows Hello,
Mhm.
facial identification, which is fine and it works great. And it does the Lenovo thing where like when you walk away, it automatically locks the
Right, right.
laptop, and when you
The
sit
presence
back down,
awareness.
it's basically already unlocked by the time you sit back
Right.
down. Like it's pretty cool in that regard. But I just want to go ahead and pull up like a quick YouTube video here, one of ours, so we don't get a copyright strike. Um,
That would be
but
kinda funny if
just
we
to
did.
give you an idea as to like what the screen is
How
like.
are the speakers, actually? That's one thing I should ask you. I would expect with a gaming laptop that the speakers ought to be pretty good.
Where's I mean they they got some good
They got
sound.
some
They
oomph,
got some
yeah.
thump to them too. There's a little bit of bass here, but
Yeah, yeah.
let me just let me just pull up our channel trailer here. Or let's do the one plus 15. So like
Ah.
yeah, look at that ugly guy.
It's Adam
This
squared.
is me.
Adam and Adam.
Yep. Yeah. It's like Adamception. um, but yeah, I mean, it looks great.
It does.
I took the opportunity to watch a few movies on here too, um, all while plugged in, of course, uh, because dang. But yeah, so like overall, this is just a really compelling package. But I mean, if you it's kind of hard, just because it's not cheap,
No, it's
like we
not.
were saying. Like what do we it's like 3,500 to $4,000. So
Right.
like it's not an inexpensive laptop for sure. But if you are in the market for a new gaming rig, there's no reason not to look at that one.
I mean,
Like I
hell,
said, the only thing that's missing that I would like to have seen would have been like a fingerprint sensor. But like, I can live without that. The Lenovo's still pretty good with the thing with the face, Windows Hello.
with
It
Windows
does that.
Hello. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's good with that.
So
Most laptops, most Lenovo laptops are.
I'm just looking here just to give you a comparison there, right? So the 5080 is basically one step down from the more top of the line. It's not it's
Hmm.
higher than the mid range, which would be like, well, like, I think it goes all the way down to the 5050, 5060, 5070. Obviously, the
Right.
5080 in this, but if you were to consider, if you were building your own desktop rig, and this is not a direct apples to apples comparison because I think what's inside the laptop is a little bit different, but an
Right.
RTX 5080 for a desktop machine is right now around $1,000.
Yeah.
So that right there by itself, I mean, that's a third of the price of that laptop right there almost.
Right.
In terms of
Exactly.
if I'm just saying, if you're, and this is the Core Ultra 9 275 HX too, which is the high powered one. So, I
Yeah.
mean, like you're saying, it's expensive, but it's expensive for a reason. And Lenovo does have uh laptops that get down into like the $1,000 range for like an entry level gaming laptop. So
Oh,
this
sure.
is like the high end of the spectrum, and there's a reason. I mean, 4K display, all that RAM that it's got, the high end processor, the all that stuff. So yes,
Yeah.
it's expensive. And the other thing we always say with Lenovo is the sticker price is probably not what you're going to pay,
Right. Right.
because
Exactly.
Lenovo's
So
always running sales, especially this time of the year.
yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, if you're looking for a Black Friday pickup, there you go. Don't give that to anybody else because
Mhm.
actually, you know what? I'll tell you what. If you are going to give that to somebody else, if you're going to buy this as a gift for somebody, that's great. You can reach me at PO Box. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, because clearly you have way too much money, and you would
Just
like
buy one of
to.
those. If you're going to carry it, just buy one of those exoskeletons that you can get now to help you lift
Yep.
things and yeah, then you
Yep.
actually could use it as a mobile laptop because you're now a
Yeah.
cyborg.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so I really that's what it boils down to is this is, if you're a hardcore gamer and you want a really high-end laptop, this is it. Like this is as high-end as it gets. I have no complaints about any part of this laptop because if I did, I would probably be a conceited douchebag. But yeah, so I think that's probably going to do it for this particular review unless Cliff has any final thoughts.
I think one thing we should mention is that I believe with this, and usually that's the case with Lenovo laptops and gaming laptops, is that I believe both the SSD and the RAM is user replaceable. For people that
I
care
don't
about for people that care
yeah,
about right to repair, all that stuff, versus I know like like a Razer laptop is not necessarily sealed, but it's a little bit harder to work on. So
Yeah, I
I
did not open this up at all, but there
right.
are just regular Phillips head screws on the
Hmm.
bottom, so I would imagine that's probably at least fairly accessible.
Hmm.
I can't speak to that specifically, but like you
You
said,
haven't done it
Lenovo is
yourself,
usually
that's
pretty
right.
conscientious about that.
Hmm.
So, and I want to say that all the packing material is like all recyclable and
Recyclable.
everything too,
That's
which
part of
is
Lenovo's new
yeah,
deal too. Yeah, everything I've received from them over the past like year has been trending towards that. So
right. So this is a monster gaming laptop, and if that's what you're looking for, you should definitely check this one out. Um, in the meantime, if you have any, if you have any questions about it, feel free to ask me, and I can let you know, what I've discovered thus far. I don't think we missed anything. We're usually pretty thorough with these things, but for now, don't forget to do the liking and the subscribing and the commenting and the sharing and the what else do you have to do? Oh, the bell. Don't forget the
yeah,
bell. Smash it.
smash that bell.
Yeah, do all the YouTube stuff. And for now, once again, I'm Adam. That is Cliff Thomas, and we want to thank you for watching and for giving us the benefit of the Doud.